What's up guys, my name is Jacob5 and welcome back to another match preview. Today we look at Southampton, who are taking on Chelsea at the St Mary's Stadium in the 7:30 kickoff. Before we do get into this preview, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Really appreciate the all the support on the previews and the reviews as of late. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you click that like and subscribe button down below. So Southampton versus Chelsea, bit of a tale of the two in terms of the tables and things like that, where one side's right at the bottom and one side's pretty much right at the top. It's going to be a hard game for ourselves, a big clash in fairness, where I feel like we might struggle in some ways because we're coming up against a relegation side. Saying that, Southampton have got a lot of worries themselves. Looking at the injuries, it's not good for them whatsoever. I mean, just suspensions alone. Harwood Bellis is suspended. Tyler Dibbling, if that name rings a bell, he was previously in our youth academy a couple of years ago before he went back to Southampton. And also Flynn Downs on suspension. In terms of injuries, Ramsdale, Bazunu and Lallana all out. Really interesting because Russell Martin's got his thoughts cut out in terms of the goalkeeper options there. With Stewart, Anokyu and Smallbone all being a doubt. So it's going to be interesting to see. And there might be the potential return of Jan Bednarak. In terms of Chelsea's injuries, James and Fofana are the only two that have been mentioned that will be out of this particular fixture. I'll go into their form in a bit and so on, and you can we'll analyse it from there, but it's quite clear to see that we're far the superior team. It's just that we shouldn't really take this one realistically with a pinch of salt. We should know that we need to get the job done. We should know that this is a massive 3 points if we are able to achieve it, and we should know that we should go into this in the most professional mindset possible to be able to achieve that at the same time. I've always felt like we've always been quite complacent against teams like this, and we've never really been able to pick up the points against teams that are far down the bottom, and we always feel like this is an easy picking when it's never not going to be the case. They easily gave Liverpool a run for their money, a team that's been beating everyone this season. So there's no doubt about it that we need to take this game as seriously as possible. But I do feel confident for the fact of coming off that win against Aston Villa. The performance was triumphant in fairness, and we absolutely outplayed them from minute 1 to minute 90. And there's no reason why we can't do that against Southampton. It's just, as I mentioned, having the right mindset, making sure that the right things are sorted out to be able to have it where we do pick up all 3 points. Now, looking at the table, it's quite clear to see that Southampton are having a very, very poor season so far. Played 13, won 1, drawn 2, and lost 10. Not good whatsoever. Only 5 points collected in 13 games is an absolutely abysmal start, and it's very clear to see that they are very much on the downfall as of this moment in time. And it's very clear to ask yourselves why Russell Martin is still in the job. There's many calls for it from Southampton fans that I've been hearing on different fan channels and things like that. And they're just not in a good way whatsoever. They come up last season, they just haven't really got going in any means whatsoever, and if they carry on like this, they're going to cause a lot of problems for themselves. I think the only reason that they're still in some sort of a shout of it because they're lucky with the other teams around them that haven't picked much points out themselves. Looking at our season so far, we played 13, won 7, drew 3 and lost 2. Currently sitting in 3rd with 25 points. Bearing in mind Arsenal have yet to play Man United, so they'll be playing on the same match day. So if Man United can do us a favour and pick up a point potentially, and we pick up all 3, then we could slot ourselves into 2nd, and we could be having a very good December. But it's very hard to tell what's going to happen. We just need to keep winning our games. We keep getting asked that we're in a title race. I guess we are to a degree, but at the same time, I feel like we're slightly of a dark horse where we're a young team and we're just doing bit by bit to be able to get by and just see where it ends in fairness, because I don't think there's a real achievement apart from top 4, and if we're able to achieve that and potentially a European actual trophy itself, then I feel like we've done good going in that sense, and we've achieved past what we realistically have thought at the start of the season. The form against Southampton is pretty good in fairness. Overall, 22 wins for Southampton, 40 wins for Chelsea, and 21 draws. The last 5 have been a bit sketchy, 3 wins and 2 losses. They've always done quite well when they've travelled up to Stamford Bridge, in fairness. It's just been the case where we haven't been able to get the result when needed. But we've had a pretty good record at St Mary's at the same time, so it differs between the two, I feel. But I'm still confident. I feel like stats are a little bit irrelevant at this moment in time, knowing the position of the two teams, knowing that one's right at the top, one's right at the bottom. It's just whether we can make the most of what we've got going for ourselves at the moment and be able to pick up the 3 points when needed. Before we get into my lineup predictions, I just wanted to display Southampton's last 6 in their form as of the moment. It's quite clear to see their struggle as of the moment, in fairness. Their last game, they did pretty well, and I felt like they was pretty robbed against Brighton, in fairness, with that massive disallowed goal for the offside of Adam Armstrong, which I still fail to understand, in fairness. They played quite good against Liverpool with that 3-2 loss. I just, again, experience kind of lacked. 2-0 loss against Wolves, then they picked up a win against Everton, Stoke, and then that 1-0 defeat against Man City. So it's been pretty rocky, but they have played some good teams at the same time. So very, very mismatched in terms of the actual kind of form that they're displaying as of the moment, but that is what they've been doing in their last 6 games. So going up to my lineup prediction, bearing in mind that James and Fofana are currently out of the side, this too I reckon Enzo Maresca will go for in this particular game. Robert Sanchez in goal, managed to keep a clean sheet, his first home clean sheet of the season against Aston Villa, and displayed some decent efforts in terms of being able to stop Ollie Watkins. Hopefully he's able to continue that. I think everyone knows from probably watching the channel, and if you're not too sure, I'm not the biggest fan of Robert Sanchez, in fairness. But if he can put in a performance, then I'll back him. It's simple as that. He's got a Chelsea shirt on at the end of the day, and I want him to do the best that he possibly can. Cucurella on the left-hand side, he's been absolutely outstanding in the inverted role and the defensive role, and also he displayed that once again against Aston Villa and put on some top-quality performance, so no reason why he won't be on the left-back role. Due to Fofana being injured, Maresca has a choice of Disasi, Tosin or Badiashile, and it seems to be that he's been favouring Badiashile on a lot of times, so I reckon he'll go with the partnership of Badiashile and Colwill. Played for half an hour against Aston Villa and did pretty well, in fairness, and I felt like it was quite solid, so there's no reason why he shouldn't start against the Saints. Moving forward to the right-hand side there, we've got Malo Gusto. He was on the bench against Aston Villa, wasn't fully fit, but at the same time, I reckon he will be able to kind of do a job and still be able to kind of get over the line. We've kind of missed him on that right-hand side, even though that Caicedo did do a pretty decent job. In terms of the midfield, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, the partnership has been pretty clear, and Maresca's got a real kind of headache in terms of choosing themselves between them and Lavia also. But that would be my 2 midfield that I would go for. Moving forward to the attacking options, I'd keep Pedro Neto and I'd switch him over to the left-hand side. Keep Cole Palmer in the middle, of course, and bring in Noni Madueke. I thought Jadon Sancho was pretty good against Villa, but at the same time, I feel like he'll probably freshen up the side and potentially might even put in Cuckoo in with them. It would be really nice to see, but it doesn't seem to be that he's been going for that much this season. And then up front, Nicholas Jackson. 8 goals in the Premier League so far, and I reckon he'll be looking to eye up another goal in this particular game against Southampton. So that'll be my first 11. It's a pretty strong 11, in fairness, even though with the small amount of injuries that we've got. A lot of depth still in the squad, but he could make some decent changes, and they could be completely different to this. This is just what I believe he will go for. Before we end the episode, I just wanted to display my score prediction. I'm going for a Chelsea 2, Southampton 1 win. It's a prediction at the end of the day. Don't take it with anything. It's just a case of what I believe will happen at the end of the match. I could be completely mistaken. I've come close in recent videos and I've been way off in others. So that would be my ideal sort of score. I'd love to keep a clean sheet at the same time, and it could be even more. It could be a 3-0, could be a 4-0, could be a 1-0. That's just what makes us interested about football. Anything can happen in this moment in time, but I reckon a 2-1 victory. I feel like we'd be pretty comfortable. I feel like we'll get the job done. I'm just not too sure if the complacency will roll in this particular game, but I'm hopeful for the result, as I mentioned, and I'm looking forward to it, that is for sure. I'll be watching the game on telly, and then I'll be able to do a review straight after, so bear with me. I will get one up, as it will be a later finish with being an evening kickoff. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe for more content, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Cheers.